I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Today is Wednesday, November 24th, and just a reminder, if you're watching this show, hit that share button, hit that like button, and of course you can comment live during the show on YouTube, and you can comment on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Feel free to leave comments. I love it when you leave comments. It gets me excited, and I might even be able to respond to them. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class next Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. I know you want to learn about it, so come on by and let's learn about it. All right, on today's show, we'll be discussing, of course, the market update and what happened in the market today. We'll be talking about jobless claims. We'll be talking about the reality of inflation. Hey, the seaport congestion is slowing. Let's get into that. That's really interesting. We're also going to be talking about retail store aggressions and, of course, Thanksgiving traditions, because I think tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I don't know. I've been locked in this room with this beautiful set for days now, so I'm not even sure what day it is, but I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving. All right, let's talk a little bit about the market and what happened today. So first of all, the Dow actually closed down only 9.5 points. It was actually surprising because it was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. It was kind of bipolar. It kind of did its thing. And the S&P actually closed up 10 points, almost 11 points today, which, again, I'm surprised. And the NASDAQ was up about 70 points as the bond market kind of cooled down. So the bonds, they stopped rushing up. And we talked about this before. When the bond market goes up, the NASDAQ seems to go down. Whatever. I think the bond market's going to go up. It's going to reach 2.25, and that's going to be the settlement point, or kind of the average point, where it's low. It has been about 1.25. Anyway, all right. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the rest of the market. So let's talk about jobless claims. So the report of jobless claims came in today, and it was the lowest report since 1969. Now, think about this, right? That means that less people, by percentage, filed for unemployment this period, and it was the least amount in about 50 years. Now, the weird part about the report is that they specifically left out the reasons why that happened. Look, frankly, I don't really know the reason why it was the lowest, but I can sure speculate, and I can guarantee it ain't because of that guy, the supreme leader, that's for sure. So let's talk about the reasons why this may be. First of all, we have the mass exodus of people leaving their job intentionally. So they're leaving their job so they don't qualify for unemployment. They're just leaving. They're retiring, or they're saying, I don't want to work anymore. At least for a little while, that's probably what's going to happen. So they're not filing for unemployment. There have been many reports about people, as you know, they've been leaving their job because they're just fed up with the government overreach crap. I mean, COVID crap. You know what I mean, right? Sure. On the same vein, we've had people leaving or being forced out of work because they believe in medical choice, not unconstitutional mandates for vaccines and masks. So people are just fed up getting with the vaccine, they're fed up with having to wear masks, and they're just leaving their job. Furthermore, we have the fact that companies can't find employees, so they're taking whatever they can or keeping whoever they can. So even if they've got a doofus as an employee, they're keeping him. They simply can't afford to have the position empty, so any warm body will do. I got to tell you a story about what happened last night. My wife Linda and I went out to dinner last night, and the server, and she was probably pretty new, was a bit slow, but nothing really intolerable. However, at the end of our meal, I ordered a coffee with my dessert, and it didn't come. Finally, she came back, and with a bit of embarrassment, she told us how she poured the water into the coffee maker where the coffee grinds go, and the coffee where the water goes. Well, we laughed, and of course, I didn't get my coffee because now I had to fix the coffee machine or clean it out or whatever they have to do with it. But I still gave her a nice tip. But the fact is, she probably was new, and no one there was training her on how to do the coffee machine, right? And the problem is companies just can't get or keep good help. I would also say that this is going to be changed soon. I would predict in about a year, many people will be applying for and competing for the same jobs. Look, many citizens were given bribes to stay home, and that ended about 2 months ago. So remember, they had the $600 a month bribed to stay home, right? And then that ended about a month ago, but still some people were living off of that and they were saying this is great. On the other hand, there's a crazy outlook that many millennials have that they think they will become crypto millionaires. Have you ordered your Lamborghini yet? Because every other crypto millionaire out there has already ordered their Lamborghini, so if you didn't yet, you're behind. These individuals are trying to shortcut their way to riches, and it's just not going to work. Look, it's a lottery ticket concept. When the reality sets in, they will have to go back to work to pay their bills, and the jobs that are here today won't be there tomorrow. So my suggestion to all you millennials out there, or anyone who's out there on the sidelines thinking that it's going to get better, financially if they stay home, unless you've got a plan, that's not going to work. So I'd get the job now. Go find that job that you're underqualified for, because in a time where most people right now, they just want to hire a warm body, and if you're underqualified, they'll probably hire you. And look, the market didn't react well to the news of the low jobless claims, and honestly, it's because Wall Street money managers are trigger happy. They're afraid that the low jobless claims will make inflation go up even higher. And look, it may, but I'm pretty sure it's going to settle down, so I wouldn't worry that much about it. However, that's what happens when there's more people working. They think inflation goes up. So speaking of inflation, in a report today, it was noted that not since Americans came home from World War II has inflation run through the economy like it is now. A home builder in New York stated the following: "This period of rising prices is unique in the 30-year history of his family business. The cost definitely went up faster than the price. Our average home is up $60,000, and that's just hard costs passed along. The average 2x4, for example, over the course of the past year from July is roughly the same period to 2021, went from $4.30 to $11.36. Wow, I guess you're not going to be burning 2x4s, huh? He said the 2x4 is now about 50% lower, but lumber is still volatile. They also said that building costs have gone up, including 20% increase in insulation this year. We are definitely seeing the rising costs in homes and home values. It's actually quite insane right now. I personally had a property I bought 6 years ago, double in price since I bought it. And look, most of the properties I own have increased in value about 80% in just the past 3 years, by the way. I love being a real estate investor, so if you're a real estate investor, this is the way to go. The debate among economists is how much of this pandemic-era inflation will linger and how much will be temporary. In October, the Consumer Price Index was up 6.2% year over year, the highest in 31 years. Look, we all know that President Poopy Pants can't get a handle on oil prices and made the dumbass move to tap the oil reserves to try to lower the price of gas. Ugh. By the way, inflation will run up a bit more, but look, you got to look at history. So take a look at this chart. I got to show you, this is an amazing chart. You're going to see that interest rates from 1790 to 2010, and let's talk about this chart as a guide, and you'll see that we're about at the 1950s on the chart, with interest rates being low at about 2.5%. It looks like they ticked up about a point every 5 years until 1980, when they ticked up about 8 points to peak at 14 to 15%. I don't know if any guys you remember, but we used to get mortgages at 14 to 15%. And when I got my first mortgage, it was under 13%, and I thought that was a bargain. So sometimes charts tend to repeat patterns. So if that's true, we have about 20 years before we hit the rate of 15% again. However, rates of 5 and 6% are going to be closer than you think. And it could be as little as 3 to 5 years away. So here's the plan. Refinance or buy your house now. I'm telling you, do it now. You'll be in the best position for real equity growth as new buyers enter the market at higher rates. Look, at about 2 o'clock today, there was a report that came over the internet that Federal Reserve officials at their meeting earlier this month expressed concern about inflation and said they would be willing to raise interest rates if prices keep rising. So watch it, because they're doing it. Be careful, it's going to happen. All right, let's really quickly talk about seaports and what's going on over there. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of the backlog in California ports and all the ships in the ocean waiting to be unloaded. The retail sector of the stock market has been blaming poor sales on the fact that there is no inventory because of this backlog. The news reports had at one time said that it would take 6 months to unload the ships at the current pace. However, in an interview, Mario Cordero, executive director of the Port of Long Beach, said, "It looks like some progress is being made in this dilemma. I think we're moving forward with some progress, and hopefully, as we move into the next 6 months, we're going to continue to mitigate the scenario that we're seeing here. Well, you may recall that the Supreme Leader ordered the ports to be open 24 hours and also ordered the ports to levy fines on containers that left the port for an extended period of time. So in other words, if he left them there, they got fines. He actually imposed a $100 a day fine for each container left empty on the dock. I'm pretty sure this isn't the reason the docks appear to be clearing faster, since the announcement of the new fees, which by the way have not yet started. Both ports have seen lingering cargo containers reduced by 33%. Cordero says there are still approximately 61 cargo ships. Listen to this carefully. Cordero says there are 61 cargo ships left.
So you've thought about investing in real estate.
Oh man,
houses,
you put me in commercial.
Buildings, properties, but don't really
He put me in a commercial. Oh my goodness. That's because I went over. He's trying to warn me. All right, that's cool. But check this out real quick before we go to the commercial, right? Cordero says there are still approximately 61 cargo ships off the California coast waiting to unload. That compares to a record 111 ships just 2 weeks ago, according to data from the Marine Exchange. So check this out. If I understand the math correctly, that means that all of the remaining ships will be emptied within 3 weeks. Is that right? Did I do that math correctly? If it took 2 weeks to clear 50 ships and there are 61 left, wouldn't that mean that 3 weeks to clear the rest? I'm really confused here. If this problem was solved in 2 months, is it really a problem or it was something else? Is it possible that because the great Governor DeSantis in Florida helped by allowing the ships to reroute in Florida? I don't know, but I'm still scratching my head on the math here. In fact, it gives me a clue as to the market over the next few months. By the way, retail and any computer chip company will be into play as these ships get unloaded. The stores will be packed and pent-up demand will get people buying everything they wanted for Christmas and couldn't find. It will also be Christmas in February, and the retail earnings reports will show that. I'd like the stores that missed earnings in the past few days, like Gap, which is down 25%, and half of the price it was in May. I'll be discussing more of these great plays as we wrap it up, but check it out because we're going to take the break that we just didn't take.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, did you guys hit that share button yet? Come on, share me with your friends. Tell everybody about it. You know, hey, look, what's my favorite saying? Let's go, Brandon. So share it. Put hashtag Let's Go, Brandon. Hashtag Larry Steinhouse. Share it. Let's do it. All right. Real quick, Dave Hargrove online had a really good question. He wanted to know how many of the ships sailed to Florida, and the answer is I don't know. But I found it very interesting that the problem seems to be going away, which makes me think that it wasn't really a problem. It was something else. So think about that. All right, we've been talking about the market update, the fact that the Dow is actually down just a little bit. It's only down about 9.5 points, no big deal. The S&P up 10, almost 11 points, and the NASDAQ is up about 70 points. All right, so coming up, we're going to be talking about retail store aggressions and Thanksgiving traditions, and of course, we're going to be talking about the wrap-up and some of my picks. Hit the share button, hit the like button, and don't forget to leave comments on YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter. And, of course, I will try to mention you and respond to your comments. All right, so real quick, let's talk about retail store aggression. So before the break, I was discussing the fact that retail stores have a significant inventory problem. With this being said, retail workers at big box stores and malls across America want you to know they don't control the prices, they don't control hiring, and they don't control the global supply chain. All right. We get a lot of angry customers coming in in the morning, and they're angry at the world, said Jessica Rivenberg, a manager at Williams-Sonoma store. I love it. So last year, the store workers had to deal with the people like me who were angry over useless mask mandates, right? This year, they have to, and they're dealing with customers complaining about low inventory, lack of employees, higher prices, and of course, back orders. Look, another story of myself, right? My wife Linda and I, we went to buy new furniture, and in one store, the salesperson said, anything you order today will not be in your home for 10 months. 10 months? We were hoping to get it for Thanksgiving this year. But, look, now we got to hope for Thanksgiving next year, according to that salesperson. Well, we actually left and went to a different store, and they said February the latest for what we ordered. So imagine ordering a couch and you can't get it till February. It's insane. So it's certainly something new and challenging for most Americans who are used to living in abundance and expect everything to be at their fingertips. Of course, you should shop early, but let's do this. Let's be nice to the people in the stores. Look, they're dealing with hundreds of crazy people. Of course, none as crazy as me, but they're still crazy, and they're dealing with them. Look, if you live in a free state, or at least a semi-free state, give them a maskless smile and make their day. So you guys in Florida, smile to everybody. You guys in Philadelphia, go in there going, anyway. Maybe Kenny will grow up one day and realize that masks don't work and he's not a dictator and he should leave us all alone. All right, let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving traditions. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, or otherwise known to my brother as Turkey Day. That's right, he always says, what are we doing for Turkey Day? So many of us have had our Thanksgiving traditions, and these are some of the most common of those traditions. So some people actually watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. They break the wishbone for good luck. How many of you break the wishbone for good luck? They eat a traditional Thanksgiving meal. I say that that's a pretty likely tradition. They take a nap. Now, I found this very funny. Do they take the nap after they eat the Thanksgiving meal or before? They also share about what they're most thankful for. They watch a football game, and I love the way it was listed in the list. They watch an American football game. Yeah, there we go. They're grateful for friend giving. And they do shopping, or they give back, or they run a turkey trot. Okay, what the heck is a turkey trot? I don't know. Do you run like a turkey? Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, what are some of your traditions? I remember mine was watching the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Like, Thanksgiving is actually right around my birthday. By the way, my birthday's Saturday, so if you want to wish me happy birthday, go ahead. And my birthday, sometimes every 4 years, it actually falls on Turkey Day. And it used to be that I got up early and my mother prepared the food. That is, she bought it from a local restaurant and just kind of put it out for all the people that were coming to our house. But my brothers and I would watch the Thanksgiving Day Parade as we played with my birthday presents, toys and stuff, right? So now that I'm older, I don't watch the parade, and I'm not much of a football fan, so I don't do that either. So I guess I'll have to try, the turkey trot, huh? Whatever. So some people like the tradition of expressing what they're thankful for. By the way, why don't you guys put in the comments what you're thankful for? Hey, take a couple of minutes, put in the comments what you're thankful for. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to talk to you about my favorite stock picks. Don't forget, let me know what you're thankful for, and I'll be discussing it on the other side of this.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. I want to thank you guys for responding, and I want to thank, of course, I want to thank Eric for wishing me happy birthday, and I want to thank Ron for letting me know that he's going to enjoy watching me drive around in my Let's Go Brandon mobile, and of course, Dave talks about last Thanksgiving. He had a one and done tradition. Most of his guests got COVID. I love it. And of course, my beautiful wife said, "I'm thankful for you, honey," and I'm thankful for you too, honey. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. That made my day. All right, so far we've been discussing the market update. We've been discussing jobless claims. We've been talking about inflation. We've been talking about the seaport congestion, which is disappearing very quickly. Make me think that something else was going on over there. Of course, retail store aggressions. Be nice to the guys, to the retail stores. And of course, Thanksgiving traditions. And you guys are all awesome. All right, so coming up is the wrap-up of some of my stock picks. But did you guys hit the share button yet? Come on, share me with your friends. Hit that like button and let me know you enjoy the show. Leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn. And if you wouldn't mind doing hashtag Larry Steinhouse and hashtag Money Chat Now, I'd totally appreciate it. All right, I also want to remind you that today is the last show of this week and the last show at this time. So we're not going to do a show tomorrow because of Thanksgiving. We're not going to do a show on Friday because of Thanksgiving. And on Monday, we will be moving to 7:30 a.m. And we will be broadcasting live on WWDB Radio at the same time in Philadelphia as of December 1st. Make sure you listen to us there, and let's keep this party going. All right, let's talk about some of the notable moves today. It was another bipolar day in the market as we saw the Dow drop and then return and then drop only a few points. It was not a big deal. It was actually pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed. As we discussed, retail stocks tanked. However, I think there's a play here with brands like Gap, which is selling for under $18. Nordstrom with the symbol JWN selling at 22.5. And by the way, I think these brands are going to come back as the ships get unloaded. And speaking of the ships unloading, anything that's a chip-dependent industry, such as the car industry, will clean up in February. And I'm telling you, February and March, these stocks are going to do really, really well. I can easily see Ford reaching new highs and even going into the 30s as cars start to get delivered to dealers and then, of course, to the consumers. Meta started out down, and then it went up, and then it went down, and it actually ended up about 4.5 points up. And not bad. Apple is stalling out at about 160. I still think it's a great play. CCL and AAL, my favorites, kind of moved up, then down. They kind of finished right about where they started. I still think they're awesome plays into the new year. And of course, Boeing is also a great play. It moved up about 1.5 points. Crypto moved higher today. Bitcoin just under 57,000 and Ether is about 4,200. Shiba is sitting at 37 millionth of a cent. And I told you this was going to go below 40 millionth of a cent. No doubt in my mind, I'm looking for 32 millionth of a cent. And I'm going to ride it back up to 42, and that's it. There we go, right? I'm also holding Doge Doge or whatever the heck it is. It's Doggy. Everybody just call it Doggy. That's what it is. It's Doggy. All right, as it rests at about 21.5 cents. AMP is about 6.2 cents. And a new one I looked into, check this out, Jasmy, Jasmy. Why Jasmy? It's just a cool name. Gold and silver kind of stalled out. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you've made money on some of the stock tips discussed on this show, please leave a comment. Hey, did you guys hit that share button yet? Did you hit that like button? Have an awesome Thanksgiving weekend. And don't forget to listen to Investor Schooling Live on Saturday at 2. And I want to remind you again that this is the last show today. And we'll be moving to 7:30 on November 29th. And happy Turkey Day. And once again, thanks all for watching and listening to Money Chat Now. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And that's it, guys. See you next week.